Good afternoon. I'm Robbie Cheadle from Robbie's Inspiration, and today I'm reading the first section from chapter 1 of my book, While the Bombs Fell, co-written with my mother, Elsie, Hancy, Eaton. The House in Back Lane. In June 1942, as World War II raged, a little girl grew up in one of a row of small cottages on a street called Back Lane in a town called Bungay in East Anglia, England. Britain had been at war with Nazi Germany since 1 September 1939, and the little girl could not remember a time when the distribution of food, coal and clothing had not been controlled. She had listened for the sound of bomber planes and air raid sirens without even realizing it, and even possessed her own gas mask. She felt relieved that she didn't have to worry about her gas mask anymore. The family's gas masks lay forgotten in their boxes. The British government's anxieties about chemical warfare had not materialized. When fitted to her face, the rubber mask felt hot and smelled bad. When she breathed in, she had to suck air through a filter designed to remove any poisonous gas. Father said, when Britain declared war on Nazi Germany, the government thought the Nazis would drop poison gas bombs on Britain. The gas masks are to protect us. Her brother Joey asked, why did the government think the Nazis would drop poison gas bombs on us? During the Great War, which ended 20 years ago, both sides used poison gas. The Germans used chlorine gas and then mustard gas, said Father. Elsie did not understand the implications of poison gas bombs, but she saw the worry on Father's face when he spoke about it. Her humble home had brick walls, an upstairs and a tiled roof. The outside foundation walls were tarred to keep the rainwater and damp out of the ground floor rooms. A single chimney served the fireplaces in the cottage. Born in this house on the 21st of October 1938, she was a howling and squalling baby. Mother could not breastfeed her youngest daughter after suffering a serious miscarriage between the births of her previous child 18 months before and this baby. She resorted to warmed cow's milk fed to the baby in a curved glass bottle with a rubber teat. Mother fed the baby hurriedly as she had 5 other children to attend to and a hard-working husband. The cow's milk did not agree with her finicky baby girl, and she cried incessantly. In those days, a mother had few options if she couldn't breastfeed, and her baby didn't tolerate cow's milk well. Mother just patiently bore her child's crying and upset stomachs for the first 6 months of her life. Despite the freezing cold that seeped into the walls of the cottage during the winter months, the little girl had never known a daily fire lit in any fireplace other than the one in the living room. The wall oven in the kitchen was lit once a week on a Sunday to cook the tiny roast beef. One exceptionally cold night, the little girl asked Mother if she could light the fire in the front room. Mother said, we don't have enough coal for another fire. We only have enough for the living room fire. I need the rest to light the copper for the washing once a week and for the oven on a Sunday. The little girl never complained about the cold again. She knew her mother struggled to manage the running of the house with the food, coal, and clothing shortages caused by the war. The government of Great Britain had called up 36,000 miners to fight in the war. This action impacted coal production in England. Mother carefully controlled the living room fire to ensure that the family's coal ration lasted throughout the long, dark winter weeks. Mother named her youngest daughter Elsie. She lived with her mother and father, 2 older brothers, 3 older sisters, and her baby brother Teddy. Mother named her 2 older sons, Reggie and Joey, and her 3 older daughters, Jean, Wendy, and Gillian. Many other cottages along Back Lane or near the Gate Street were small and shabby. the same as Elsie's home. They all looked similar and featured an outside toilet. In the yard of the cottage next door stood 2 dilapidated wooden sheds. A fat, elderly man lived alone in that cottage. The local people called him Old Fiddle-de-dee. He wore a worn calico shirt, an old waistcoat buttoned over his large belly, and a pair of tatty brown pants. Old Fiddle-de-dee kept goats in his shed, which he milked every morning. People said he lived on goat's milk and bread. The thought of drinking milk from smelly goats disgusted Elsie. Father's property was much bigger and had more buildings than their neighbors. The family referred to it as the farm. Elsie's house also had sheds in the yard. 2 large sheds housed father's cows and calves, and the dairy contained the equipment for the washing and drying the milk bottles. An open-ended cart shed protected father's hay cart and milk floats from the outside elements. Her family also made use of an outside toilet, unlike Elsie's Aunt Alice, mother's older sister, who lived in a nice rented council house in the town with an inside bath and toilet. Aunt Alice grew vegetables as part of the Dig for Victory War initiative. The government encouraged British people to grow as much food as possible to help supplement their rations. This was vital if Britain was to win the war. The children enjoyed the Dig for Victory cartoon characters, Dr. Carrot and Potato Pete, who appeared in the pamphlets the government distributed as part of the campaign. These pamphlets included recipes and information about staying healthy and eating the right food. The children sang the Dig for Victory anthem. Dig, 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 and your muscles will grow big. Keep on pushing the spade. Don't mind the worms, just ignore their squirms. And when your back aches, laugh with glee and keep on digging till we give our foes a wigging. Dig, dig, dig to victory. I hope you enjoyed the first part of chapter 1 of While the Bombs Fell.